Cobra Kai Season 2 on the horizon. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a prediction of what I could see happening. Straight off, right out the bat, I love the trailer. But what I think will happen, going into Season 2, you know, off the bat of a fantastic Season 1, like, honestly, if you have never watched the original Karate Kid movies, 1, 2, or 3, or the next Karate Kid, I'm not counting the Jaden Smith one, that was a different thing entirely, but, you know, if you really want to count it. You don't necessarily have to watch them to follow the story of this show. It's pretty much explained within the confines of the episodes, and it's executed very well, but it gives you that much more depth. So I'd really recommend watching them, or if you've watched the series, but you haven't watched the films, watch the series, then watch the films, you know, whatever works for you. But watch it regardless and try and find some enjoyment in whichever one, because both of these pieces of art are fantastic, from the show to the films, absolutely flawless. Well, I say flawless, they do have some issues, but they're not bad. Going into Season 2, I think we're definitely going to see a lot of the former John Kreese, Johnny relationship that we saw in the first Karate Kid. We're going to see a lot of that edging across, and, you know, it's going to put Daniel in a very compromising position, because Johnny has his mentor, Daniel doesn't have his. So, in a way, it's going to really show how these two characters have come of age, you know, into their adult years, and how they go about with this new dynamic. You know, Daniel's become his own man, trying to live by Miyagi's teachings. And Johnny's, you know, he's just getting his life back together. He's just getting his shit back together. And then Kreese shows up out of nowhere. So is he going to go down like the same path that was before him? Or is he going to, you know, put a line and a stop there and say, no, I'm running the show now. You know, I'm my own person. I don't need you. Guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. But one thing I definitely think I could see happening is we'll see maybe Terry Silver or Mike Barnes. We'll either see one or we'll see both. And for me, I heard that Mike Barnes was referenced in Season 1. Terry Silver was referenced, and Johnny said, well, I don't know who that is. Who is that? Who are you talking about? So it'll be very interesting to see these two meeting, because they're from two opposite ends of the Karate Kid trilogy, and they're of both different circumstance. But as far as I know, I'm pretty sure Terry Silver owns the business, and Kreese is just running that particular dojo. So don't be surprised if you see Terry Silver pop back up, or maybe Mike Barnes looking for some revenge. Now, what I think the direction they're going to go this season is, I don't be surprised if they bring Ali back or not, because the song that played during the trailer was actually Ali's theme from the original Karate Kid movie. I don't know, it was in like the soccer field. It was pretty much her main song, you know, and it was like a new rendition of it. So I wonder if they're going to bring that back at all to, you know, spice up the fight between Daniel and Johnny. But I also could see that Kreese is going to trying to, because this season I think it's 24 episodes long, and, you know, Kreese is going to try and usurp the business away from Johnny. He's going to try and get some of that control, that power back in his hands. And I feel that Johnny's going to be pushed to the limit with that. And I'm pretty sure, at least even by the end of the season, we're going to see a Johnny Daniel team up. That's what I think. I think they're not necessarily going to team up this season, but I think the seeds for that will be planted this season, and then going into Season 3, we're going to see Daniel and Johnny team up against Kreese, Silver, and Barnes. Now, people have wanted Chosen to make a return. I don't think we'll see Chosen. You know, Chosen is like on a different continent entirely. I think Chosen's character was quite one film dimensional. You know, his story was told within the the context of that film. You know, he could appear, but it would make no sense for him to appear there after all this time. You know, it'd be cool to see where his character ended up, but I think it would just be nothing more than fan service, and I don't think it would really work with the story they're telling. I think the direction they're going in now is fine as it is, and you can get away with bringing Mike and Terry Silver back, and that's probably it. Potentially Ali, maybe, but I'm not quite sure on that one. But, you know, I mean, for now, things are looking bright, and, you know, going into season 2, we'll have to see what we're delivered with. It's clear that Daniel's starting up his own little brand of Miyagi-Do, and there's going to be a whole lot of things to look forward to, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. I mean, one of my favorite aspects of the show is Miguel and Johnny's relationship, because Miguel doesn't have a father, and Johnny, he yearns to be the father figure for his son, and his son, just doesn't want it. Robbie's found solace in Daniel's teachings, frankly doesn't care pretty much about whatever Johnny has to say, and Johnny can find solace in Miguel, and I think they have that father-son bonding there. People say, am I Team Miguel or am I Team Robbie? I'm Team Miguel, because Miguel, I feel, was more sympathetic. You could relate to him more, especially as I could as well. He was the loser. He was picked on. He was pathetic, and then he turned his life around, and now he's not only respected, but he's feared. People aren't going to cross him, especially in his school, because they know, he's taken presumably the big bads out of the group, so no one will touch him. Especially with the Cobras, they've got a reputation now, and they've got that same reputation that the boys had back in the 80s. Which begs the question: do you think we'll see Kyler again, though? Because I think they could do more with his character. I think that he'll look for redemption. He'll look for a way to redeem himself if they did anything with him. I don't know if he's going to be a character that they just sort of push to the side and forget about, but I hope not. I hope they use him and they send him on a redemption path, and they try and utilize his character. There's a lot there. I also feel that within this season, there's going to be as it was shown in the trailer, there's clearly a new love interest for Miguel, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some mixed tag karate. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be 2 fights this season. There's going to be Miguel against Robbie rematch. Robbie's going to win, and then they're going to fight once more. But this time, there's going to be a different circumstance. Like, the 3rd time they fight is going to be completely different. Something's going to change. I'm not sure what it is, but I can just see them doing something that's left field that no one expects. But they'll have a rematch, and Robbie will win this time. I could see maybe Miguel leaning towards more of Kreese's teachings. But at the same time, he still sees Johnny as his father figure. So whatever happens, Miguel will always come around to Johnny, because he mentored him, and he made such an impact on him. There's one person, however, that I could see potentially going up against Miguel that we don't expect, and that's Hawk. I think Hawk is going to go against Miguel. I think Hawk is becoming pretty much the essence of Cobra Kai. He really has no self-control. He's a loose cannon. He's unpredictable. He's dirty. He's parading with his shirt off and showing his hawk on the back. He's real Cobra Kai. And I think with that, Kreese will kind of usurp him and make him his own. So we'll probably see Miguel against Hawk. I'm just throwing that one out there. And maybe they could use Kyler and Hawk against Miguel and Robbie. You never know. I mean, Karate Kid's story has always fascinated me, because it's always a story about redemption. It's always a story about redeeming yourselves and, finding your inner peace, your balance, sticking up for yourself. And Cobra Kai just adds another layer on top of that. And I really like that storytelling. And it's a break, it's a break from all this stuff you see on Twitter. It doesn't pander to anything, and it doesn't not pander. So you can just sit back, switch your brain off, and you can enjoy it. There's loads of fun in this show, and all the characters are well written. They're all relatable, and it's all very realistic. And it's all, if you took the kids out of the 80s and you put them in now, this is what it would be like. So Johnny's like, why there's no women in the army? Well, why would that be a thing? And then obviously Aisha looks at him and is like, what are you on about? Because obviously times have changed. So it's interesting having that dynamic there of how things used to be and how they are now. It's a nice little spin they put on it, and it works. And it's just full of 80s nostalgia. I wasn't even born in the 80s. I was born 97, but I grew up on a lot of 80s films thanks to my mum, and you can just feel the 80s oozing from the very first episode, as soon as Johnny's in his little, Firebird, playing the 80s songs, you can just feel it. There's certain like 80s musical instruments where you can just tell. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what the season's going to bring, and I really hope that we see Terry Silver and Mike Barnes again. I think their story's unfinished. I think there's a lot they can do with them. I think they were two of the best things about the third Karate Kid film, if I'm honest. I think the dynamic was good, and I think they'll be looking for some payback. So I'm very excited to see how it's all going to play out, and I can't wait to get started when the season releases. And, all I got to say is, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. And also, by the way, if anyone's curious, I actually got this on Redbubble, I think last year, for about £20 to £30, I think. Someone did a fantastic job, but there's all kinds of like Cobra Kai merchandise up on there. I mean, I've got a design that I'm putting on the Geek Talk page on Teespring soon, relating to Cobra Kai. And make sure you go and get your YouTube Red subscription for when this series comes back out. The first 2 episodes of the first season are available to binge for free. So I'd absolutely recommend it. I'd recommend it. Just watch the first 2 episodes and you'll be hooked. I think it was someone on Collider who said that, he was worried that they were going to ruin it, or, it was going to be a cash grab kind of thing. But the first 2 episodes tell you this was made with a lot of love. And I think the show is given such a care that they've done everything right. Everything. It ties into everything that came before it while telling a new story, and it builds upon it. It does such a great job. And, it's the only thing that's missing from Cobra Kai. The only thing, and this is the only thing it's the only gripe I have, but it's nothing they can change, is the lack of Miyagi. That's the only thing I wish there was more of. Miss Pat Morita, he's fantastic man. But the funny thing is, though, I just learned yesterday he actually sounds a lot different to what you hear in the film. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, well, damn. But, at the same time, it works. And definitely give out the first 2 episodes a check out. They're both for free. And then decide whether you want YouTube Red to binge the whole of the first season before the second season comes out. If anything, binge the entire first season, watch the original 3 movies, the next Karate Kid, hell, even the Jaden Smith one, and then when you're done all that, season 2 will be ready and you can binge all of that. I am looking forward to it so much. I love everything that what's the word? I was going to say fandom, but it's not necessarily fandom. I was going to say movies, but movies, films, TV shows. I'd say everything that this genre represents, I believe in. Balance, inner peace, self-improvement, becoming your best self, being humble. This show has it all, and it's a great ride from start to finish. And anyone, I really recommend, getting on it and getting the message out there. Tell your friends, tell your family to get on this show. Seriously, like it's great. You don't even have to be a lover of karate, but the story itself is worth watching for, and the characters, you invest in them so much that you really feel for them and you root for them, especially Miguel. I mean, that guy, I was rooting for him the minute he was introduced. They make you feel sympathetic towards these people, and they put such a spin on characters you thought were just a one-dimensional kind of villain. So there was a video a couple of years ago about Daniel is the real bully, not Johnny. And I like that video. And Cobra Kai seems to be following that sort of formula. Same with Creed 2. You thought Drago was just this like meat-headed Russian who killed Apollo. But in reality, in his perspective, he's lost everything. And his son has suffered the brunt of it. His son has had no love from the father. The mother's a complete, I'm not going to say the word, and they basically lost everything. But at the end of the film, they realized that, Drago, all he needed was his son. And his son, all he needed was his father. And they were both training together. And then in this, Johnny realizes that, he was meant for more, not to be some pathetic drunk on the floor with a box of cores, I will say this, though. The one thing about Cobra Kai is it makes you hate Daniel just that little bit more. The Daniel's the supposedly the lead hero of the original three. But it makes you rewatch the first Karate Kid with a different kind of view. That Daniel may not have been as perfect. You know, in this story, no one is the hero or villain. No one. Everyone is the hero of their own journey. You know, everyone believes what they're doing is right. Everyone believes that they're the good. And I feel that that's good. You know, there's a lot of grey in this show, and it makes it hard for you to root for people specifically, because then you think, oh, maybe I'll root for him. Maybe I'll root for him. So it adds that kind of dynamic, and I like that. It's really creative storytelling, and I think it's perfect. It's perfect. It's everything that a storyteller should aspire to put in their content nowadays. You know, because it's the only stereotype you can really break within Hollywood, in my eyes. Everything's been done. So when you do grey stuff, you're flipping the script. It's something fresh. And also, there's a video about someone did a video on YouTube about the character Hawk flipping the script. Go and watch that video. If you haven't seen Cobra Kai, type in Hawk, Cobra Kai flipping the script. Watch this kid's change. Seriously, watch his change and look what happened to him. And just look at how things change for him. Obviously, he goes a bit over the top with it, but you know, even so, it works. It works for what they're doing. So yeah, guys and girls, leave your comments down below. What do you think we're going to see in season 2? Do you think we'll see Terry Silver again, Mike Barnes, Ali possibly? You know, there's rumors that maybe the girl that Miguel has a new love interest with, it could be Ali's daughter. You never know. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and if you didn't like it, kiss my Cobra Kai loving ass. Cobra Kai never dies.
Thanks so much for watching the video, boys and girls. If you like this video, please be sure to give the video a massive thumbs up, share it on all your socials, and leave a comment down below, as this is just the start of the discussion. And make sure you check out our SoundCloud page to have us with you on the go wherever you may be. And don't forget to check us out over at Teespring to supply yourself with the best geeker merchandise and take your first step into a larger fandom. And I will talk to you soon.